In this segment, we're going to talk about a brief history of Section 508 and WCAG 2.0. Here's a short timeline. January 1997, HTML 3.2. HTML 3.2 added widely deployed features such as tables, applets, and the ability for text to flow around images, also adding elements like superscripts and subscripts. December 1997, HTML 4.0 version 1. HTML 4.0 was the first standard to address separating content from page structure. It was also the first to address universal accessibility. April 1998, HTML 4.0 version 2. It offered 3 variations: strict, transitional, and frame set. Strict did not allow deprecated page elements at all, while transitional did allow the use of deprecated page elements. Style sheets were now starting to take over for the elements. Frame set addressed frame elements. May 1998, CSS Level 2 was first published as a W3C recommendation. May 1999, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG, released and became a W3C recommendation. January of 2000, XHTML 1.0. XHTML is almost identical to HTML4, except more strict and much cleaner specification. Around 2000, content management systems became a major factor in the World Wide Web. CSS3 first drafts appeared in 1999. As of June 2012, there are over 50 different CSS modules published from the CSS Working Group. 2004 began work on HTML5. As of December 2012, it's a W3C candidate recommendation. Final recommendation is anticipated by the end of 2014. It's not important to know the actual dates here, but it is helpful to see the progression of the standards and to also realize that they are consistently being updated to reflect the current technology available. Section 508 standards cover these areas of technology: software applications and operating systems, web-based internet and intranet information and applications, telecommunications products, videos and multimedia products, self-contained closed products, desktop and portable computers. Let's go ahead and focus on specifically web-based internet and intranet information and applications. In this section, it addresses visual impairment, text labels or descriptors for graphics, multimedia, image maps, style sheets, scripting languages, applets and plugins, and electronic forms. Now we'll take a look at WCAG 2.0. It's important to note that just because a site meets Section 508 accessibility guidelines, it does not mean that the site is functionally accessible. Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG, were developed through the W3C in cooperation with organizations around the world. The goal is to provide and share a single web content accessibility standard that meets the needs of individuals, governments, and organizations internationally. WCAG was first published in 1999 as version 1. The Site Improve Accessibility module uses WCAG 2.0 guidelines. A recommended draft, version 2.0, was first published in December 2008. Be aware that WCAG 2.0, although widely used, is a working document, a draft. The WCAG 2.0 guidelines are based on these 4 principles: perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. One way to help remember these 4 principles is to use the acronym POUR, P-O-U-R. Web content can be loosely defined as information such as text, images, or sound. Content is also the code or markup language that defines the structure of the page and the presentation of the content. As you see already, WCAG documents can get pretty complex. The documents explain how to make web content more accessible. Let's go ahead and break down the 4 principles a bit more. We can talk about the different levels in later modules. Perceivable. Information and user interface must be presentable or perceivable to users in a way they can comprehend. You can do this by providing text alternatives for non-text content, captions for audio and visual content. Make the content adaptable for accessible technology, and use sufficient contrast. Operable. Users must be able to operate or manipulate the interface. Make all functionality keyboard only accessible. Give users enough time to read and use the content. Don't use content that may cause seizures. Help users navigate and find content. Understandable. Information and user interface must be presented to users in a way they can understand or comprehend. Make your text readable, make content appear and act in predictable ways, and help your user avoid or correct mistakes. Robust. Content must be robust enough that it can be interpreted reliably by a wide variety of user agents, including assistive technologies. Maximize your compatibility with current and future technology. I've been using the term user agents. User agents may be web browsers, which will vary by device, assistive technology devices and software like JAWS, and even search engine spiders. In our next segment, we'll start to show you how you can implement accessibility features on your website.